Hi everyone, this is the Lady Strange. I hope this all finds you well. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, thanks for watching. So this is going to be a first impressions video. I haven't done one of these in a while, even though I have got several decks since the last time I've done so. This is going to be for a deck that I've been eyeing for months since it came out. First saw on Thea's channel, Garden Goddess that is, a couple months ago I believe, or end of last year, give or take. It is, but I never pulled the trigger. But I finally did. So, and I'm glad I did. And I stalked it several times and I rewatched it before I pulled that final trigger and got it. And I got it this past Friday, so a couple days ago. So that's what's the first impression. Yes, I have already interviewed the deck, as I always do. And I pulled for the past 2 or 3 days, some messages, the daily reads. So yeah, get some familiarity with the deck, of course. So, but still, I don't know her or have a full built relationship, so it's still a first impressions. So this is going to be, the deck is called the Dark Reflections Tarot. It is by La Musi, I believe, or Muche. I don't know how to say it. I don't pronounce things well. Oh well, whatever. So it is by that. You'll see their site. It came out in 2023, actually, but I didn't become aware until last year. It is what it is. There's so many decks and so much creativity out there that it's hard to keep up. And what comes across their tables when it's meant to is meant to at that time, I believe. So here's the back of it that does show the site for the creators and that company. They also created the Black Tarot, which is a black and white of abstract deck. I do have it. I don't work it as much as I can, but there is a mention of it last year when I got it in one of my haul videos or like monthly wrap-ups or whatever the case. But yes, so here is the lovely box. Look at that. Black, we all know, is my favorite color, as is red, hence the back or the red background here in my altar room. So this box is, it did come damaged by Amazon, but the more I actually, it is what it is. As long as I get the deck I want and the way I should get it, yeah, I can live with it. I'm a bit abusive sometimes to some of my stuff anyways, so it is what it is. So it's a lovely, you can see that loveliness, magnetic box. Here's the message, so if you want to read it, take a chance and pause this if you want. It's great. I love it. So this is basically a lot of Rider-Waite inspired type of deck. I got it on Amazon. So it is mass market, but not quite. It's kind of indie price, but definitely worth it. It's between $55 to $60. Again, easily obtainable. And the quality is great. And again, I can look past what happened with the box. Because this is a deck is Dark Reflections. It's a subversion of the traditional images in many cases of the regular RWS Rider-Waite system deck. So yes, Tanya loves subversion, of course, being a left-hand pather, rediscovering myself, rediscovering different aspects of life, analytical and magic. So, of course, being a witch, I love that type of stuff. It helps to know the both version and subversion of things, I put it that way. So this deck did, obviously, I saw it, and as I said, I fell in love with it when I saw it, but I just didn't. But others came across my way. This is definitely, when I got it, I said I should have got it fucking sooner. So, with that being said, you're going to see some of them. I'm going to show them on here. But the deck, you saw the inside. It comes with a great little guidebook. A traditional, like a little bit more than a white book type of thing. But look at that. Lovely. But I'll just open up to an example so you can read and see. Here, you kind of get the traditional meanings, the numerology and astrological planetary association, but you also get kind of things, a takeaway, because it is, after all, supposed to be a shadow-based deck. I find it more already to be that in a subversive deck, and of course, highly left-hand path type of deck. For us practitioners that work and lean that way. Whatever floats their boats, that's how I look like it. To each their own. So basically, hopefully you saw that. Again, this deck has already surpassed my thing. It's going to become a staple of my collection. So I'm going to show some cards on here. At first, I want to point out before I do so. And I did set aside a handful of ones that made me want to get the deck. And I'll show those after, but I'll show you some of this. Look at this gorgeous gilding. And edging. It is a beautiful black and got a bluish hint in the light when it moves, much like the one I did a review of in my 31 Days of Strange Osirian Shadows, I believe, Into the Darkness, or Shadows of Darkness, I believe it's called. You can go back and check that. Matching. I'm sure this deck I've already has. It will pair well nice with that, along with many of my other decks. Hence, I love the darker aesthetic, of course. And there's nothing wrong with that, of course. As I said, life is often has a lot of darkness too, and there's a lot of enlightenment in the shadows. So, and lustiness, let's put it that way, and power in truth. So look at that, there we go. That caught a bit more of the sheen here in this light. This room doesn't have the greatest lighting, but there you go, you got it. But look at the backing here too. Has a sheen, it's cracked, much like the Black Tarot from the same creation company. So yes, gorgeous. It's like a black obsidian cracked mirror. Obsidian being one of my top 5 favorite and most used and most versatile stones in my magic. So let's look at a few of these real quick before I show the other ones on this. Again, worth the price point, not a bad price point. You do get the quality. You already see the beautiful gilding and sheen. You've got a nice guidebook with a lot of jumping and journaling points on it. And it's great for the collection if you like unique things. However, if you are not into that somewhat darker subversion type of attitude or aesthetic, it just doesn't work for you, or you just don't connect with this when you watch this, that's fine too. So, cardstock is nice. I'm not a riffle shuffler. I do not like that. Not with my tarot or oracles, but that's one of my pet peeves. But again, we each have our own preferences and what works right for us. What works for you doesn't work for me, or vice versa. So, but I like the cardstock. I'm a gal that likes thicker cardstock. I don't like flimsy that. But again, I'm bitchy about that. I have a pretty big thing on there. I like my tools to work for me. That's how a witch, a magician, or anybody, even then non-practitioner, should like what you invest in should serve you very well. Let's put it that way. So before this gets too long, let me start showing you some of the deck here. Just so you can better see what I'm talking about on top of it. So, for example, we have here and again, some of these are a little bit more disturbing. So again, if you don't like that, turn back now. Strength. Again, these are out of order, and because I shuffled them and already started using them, as I mentioned in the beginning. The Star. Now this deck is great because it's got, like I said, a lot of black, a gorgeous shades of red and blue in this deck primarily. There is a lot of also the traditional and esoteric symbolism in it, and again, as I said, I was left-hand path type of landing. Chariot. Now again, since it's a subversion, it's not happy, happy, joy, joy, or traditional imagery. It shows probably the opposites. Lovers. Yeah, I love this Lovers card. Look at angry, fighting the opposite instead of a happy, joy relationship. But since the Lovers is also about crossroads and decisions, maybe a decision is also making you a bit angry and overwhelmed and making you want to voice out or speak up. Five of Pentacles. Notice the Pentacles obviously have the upside down of the Pentacles, much like the left-hand path. If you don't know what that means, but you're interested what the inverted star means, or Pentacle, there's lots of stuff. Do the research. That is if it's interested. Flat red. So, and those flames in that fire. Knight of Wands. Ten of Wands. And they do have like colored associations too, so it's not all red and black primarily. There is like blue for the water suit, orange and red for the wands. The swords have a yellow background for air, so it has those associations too, which is great. I would not say this is a beginner deck, even though it is Rider-Waite-Smith, because of course the image and the feelings are opposite. To me, it would not be user-friendly. At least the voice it gives me, it's more for those that have had some experience and seasoned and are already into the waters of reading tarot and working with tarot and magical tools, versus those that are just dipping their toes in, so to say. I'll show a few more of these ones next. I don't want this. Most of my videos are very loud, loud, more rambly. Let's see. Here, wanted to show like a swords to give perspective here. I love the expressions on the court cards and the different characters in this deck too, on the very evocative and very emotionally and energetically expressive, which is what I look for in my decks. I like the characterization and the feelings that evoke and invoked in that. My decks are not just for reading and divinatory, they are for also magical tools that I use in my spells, my magic, and primarily my past working. They are truly my companions. Here's another cups for perspective. So you got to see a handful of the regular cards in there. I'm going to point out some of the cards I really like real quick that I actually sold me on the deck. Okay, well this is a more traditional leaning tower. My frenemy, if you watch any of my numerous videos, it mentions my relationship with the tower. But the tower isn't all bad. I'm building a better relationship, understanding, and gnosis. As my perspective and my life changes, so doesn't that. Evolution, knowledge, wisdom, that's the name of the game. Let's put it that way. So here's the tower. This is one of the main reasons I wanted this. The devil. Yes, there's some nudity here. Of course, it's, again, more of a comic book feeling type of art without being comic book, if you kind of get what I'm saying. Here, illustrated, let's put it that way. Sort of like an illustrated art. So, but I love that. But look at on there. You can see it's Lucifer's sigil. So, yes. This is all about illumination, apotheosis, and of course, wisdom shining out here, but also about what you need to liberate and the aspect of liberation. So I wanted it for that reason. Of course, Lucifer sigil, but again, the Hermit. I like this Hermit. Again, here's an example of why I wanted it, because look at that lusty, gorgeous blue. This has to be one of my favorite Judgment cards now. Again, the coloration in this deck is just amazing, and the voice this deck already has, and the power I feel behind it. I'm sure it'll work nice with the Witch's Tarot, or will play nice with the Sabbath or Goetia Tarot. This is the main reason I really, really, really wanted it, besides the Devil card. The Sun card, instead of being the traditional sun with a child riding on a horse and sunflowers, this is, look, an eclipse for the sun. A sort of like the sun, you know by Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun. We had a beautiful eclipse last year in 2024. Amazing, and I had it off, so yes, I was blessed to do some nice magic on that day, some very empowered magic and path working. But I love eclipse energies. I'm one of those ones that does not believe, oh, you shouldn't do magic, you shouldn't do lots of aspects of work with the eclipse. I'm quite the opposite. I love working with eclipses and black moons, and I'm a new moon sort of gal. So look at that. Yes, that's the reason I got the deck. And of course, look at this great moon, werewolf. Nothing new, there's many decks that show that, but look at that big bright moon, and look at that werewolf and the subconscious. Plus, of course, I'm a horror movie fan and metal and rock and roll fan, so this speaks to me on many levels, and of course, pleasing. Here's one of my birth cards, is the High Priestess, as is Justice. I didn't pull out the Justice one just to show, but I like the High Priestess. I'm very happy with it. It is one of the cards that I use to determine if it is going to make or break the deck for me and be something I can work with. And of course, we got my friend Death. I love the Death card. That's one of the ones that makes and breaks the deck for me also. If you have not seen any of my previous videos, or you have, you know that I work with I work with underworld entities, primarily of the Hellenic tradition, and of course some Goetic spirits and other things. So I like that, and the cyclical energy of birth, life, death, and rebirth, and evolution, as I mentioned, and all of that in the aspects of life. You can't have life without death, you can't have death without life, and mostly the in-between. I just pulled this up for an example. There is a light card too. I couldn't find it because I'm impatient, but oh well. So here's a shadow, but there is a light card. So again, hence, you can see as an example, and showing one more, and this is the Hierophant, one of my favorites. And it's not just the majors I love, but I do, of course, the majors I resonate with in tarot. As to my favorite suit is usually the swords, so again, I am not disappointed with these swords either. I'm a sword type of one. I identify, and other readers identify me in the readings as a Queen of Swords. Makes sense if you knew me in my personal life. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this beautiful deck, because I know I already have, and I already will in such a short window of time. I've already had it in my possession, and I know it's going to become a major one. I can feel its voice. So yes, so thanks for being patient, watching my rambles. Of course, if you watched these before, thanks for returning here in my altar room. You're new, thanks for passing through, even if you choose not to watch. To each their own. And if you like any of my previous content, or any of this speaks with you, or any of my past, present, or maybe present, future, please like, comment, and subscribe, as it certainly helps my channel grow. And with that being said, stay strange.